Are you serious? Are you serious? Had to get another cup of coffee there. We have we have breaking news coming out of Iran. It is huge. There's a massive explosion. And I'm going to tell you what that means, okay? Give me 1 second. By the way, disclaimer, some of the content and information of this video is for entertainment only. But speaking of that, I want to give you another disclaimer, because if you're getting ready to invest funds in anything, know that there's always a financial risk involved, okay? And over at Noble Gold, www.pastorpaulgold.com or www.pastorpaulgold.com, or call them on the phone at 877-646-5347. Here's what your financial advisor won't tell you. By the time the news says buy gold, it's too late. Right now, everybody's waiting on a ceasefire, waiting on the headlines, waiting to see what happens in the war next. But gold isn't waiting for you, and it moves faster than you can react. You can wait or you can prepare, but you can't do both. Noble Gold Investment will help Americans protect their savings with physical gold or silver. That's gold, a biblical currency, and they'll ship it to your door and or hold it in a tax advantage IRA. Find out more about it. Go to www.pastorpaulgold.com or call them on the phone at 877-646-5347. You'll be glad that you did. All right. The script has been flipped. Are you serious? And I forgot to tell you, they'll also give you 1/10 of an ounce gold coin too. The script has been flipped. Guys, are you serious? And I am very serious. Here's what's happening. There's been a massive explosion in Tehran, Iran. And 14 high-ranking Iranian officials from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps are dead. There's others dead, but there's others definitely dead. But the 14 high-ranking Iranian Revolutionary Guard officials that were gathering to meet are all dead. Trump is flipping the script. He's adopting the Iranian-style tactics in a strategic shift of the war. According to reports, Trump sees the naval blockade as the winning tool, literally the winning tool, with Iran acknowledging its impact. But it may take time as the U.S. midterms are nearing and the energy crisis is persisting. And Tehran is awaiting that the Ayatollah Mosabbeh Khomeini, who they say is right now got severe burns all over his body and had lost a leg and is being fit with the prosthesis. They're saying that he is alive and he's being treated now in Pakistan, or maybe he's in Russia, but it's Pakistani doctors. We're not sure. Or this is just a bold-faced lie and the guy's dead. Anyway, this is possibly what's going on, but we're waiting to see if the Iranians are going to make a decision. There's 4 different scenarios now that is emerging, including a possible move into Lebanon to help the Houthis. Are you serious? Now, President Donald Trump has managed to turn the tables, flip the script, and place the regime in Iran on the horns of a dilemma. Whatever the Revolutionary Guard and the Ayatollahs do now is likely to deepen their predicament, while the United States avoids risking its pilots and troops and gains time to bring in a 3rd aircraft carrier strike group for continued operation in the coming days. It can be said that when Trump announced the extension of the ceasefire and the continuation of the blockade, that he was forcing the Iranians to swallow a spoonful of the same bitter pill and dish that they had tried to serve the United States and the world when they closed the Strait of Hormuz. The regime in Iran has created an international energy crisis by shutting the Strait of Hormuz waterway, even driving up fuel prices in the United States, believing that by refusing to yield to Washington and Israel, and by triggering a global energy crisis, it could win the war. Okay, so that is their strategy. And the price of gas, very close now in the villages, it's $4.99 a gallon. So people are complaining. People are going to start to push back. They're going to say, why are we in this war? And when they find out, well, the reason you are is because you're protecting Israel, then there's folks in this country who don't like Israel, who don't like the Jews. Okay. And there's majority of people do like Israel and believe we should support Israel, and they stand with Israel. But how much longer can they stand the high prices of gasoline, which is going to also increase the high prices of everything? In Sacramento, California, it is $7.18 a gallon. Now, the part of that reason is because Gavin Newsom has put an insane amount of taxes on every gallon of gas, and that even makes it worse. Thank you, Selena. So the sense of euphoria was evident in Iran's conduct during negotiations, in its disparaging statements toward the United States, and in its attempts to break the naval blockade imposed by the U.S. Central Command. But the global energy market has so far managed to cope through American and international reserves of crude oil and gas, even though the Strait of Hormuz has been closed for nearly a month and a half. In addition, Iran has found that the Americans are enforcing the blockade by force, including the deployment of Marines and the seizure of vessels traveling to and from Iran, while Trump's envoys are negotiating and have not retreated from one demand. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, period. Trump appears determined above all to secure a nuclear agreement with Iran that would be marked better than the 2015 deal reached by President Barack Hussein Obama. But we will see. This is definitely a battle. Now, the regime across the factions is convinced that Israel will also attempt to assassinate Mossaba, the Ayatollah Mossaba Khomeini, who is the son of the former Ayatollah Ali Khomeini. He is seriously wounded, according to reports. Even the Pentagon says he is seriously wounded and disfigured and is awaiting a prosthesis and surgeries. And therefore, it's keeping him well hidden and largely avoiding communication with him for fear it could provide intelligence leading to his death, to his assassination. Still, both factions view Mossaba as the supreme authority whose decisions are decisive, and they consult with him, likely to resolve differences over the negotiations. This process takes time, compels Iran to stall, and Pakistan's army chief, Field Marshal Izam Munar, experienced this firsthand when he traveled to Tehran, Iran, to speak directly with the decision makers. He returned frustrated, according to American sources, by the divisions at the top of the long waits for decisions from the Khomeini's son. As a result, Iranian officials did not attend the scheduled talks in Islamabad. This scenario has been anticipated in Washington and in Jerusalem, and the response was ready and straightforward. Continue the naval blockade until Iran formulates a position in negotiations. But there's no doubt about it. Trump is under pressure by the global energy crisis and the war in Iran, which is highly unpopular by the Democrats in the United States of America. So, having said all of that, what we are recognizing is that Trump is dealing with some serious issues as it relates to this war. Now, I can tell you this. Trump has pulled the trigger, though, not long ago. We have breaking news. There's been this massive explosion, as you can see over my shoulder, that Trump has dropped. We knew, I told you earlier that there was planes flying in. Brought this in last night, that something was going on. Well, now we know there was a major explosion, and it has killed the top 14 Iranian Revolutionary Guard commanders. I repeat, this explosion has killed the top 14 Iranian Revolutionary Guard commanders. And Trump continues the blockade, putting pressure and financial devastation on Iran. Meanwhile, Chase Bank, somebody hacked it, somebody did something. Now, they're not saying that. I'm waiting to see what the final verdict is going to be. But all across the United States and in parts of the world, Chase Bank could not make financial transactions for their customers. Some people couldn't log into their bank accounts. I walked into the bank 15 minutes after this happened, and people were scrambling, looking at computers and on the phone. And I said, what's going on? They said, our system has been completely down. We can't transact money. We can't even receive money. We can't exchange money. We're in a situation. So I went back, came back here and quickly did some fast research with our insiders and found out there is a major problem at Chase. Now, they may have fixed it by now. They told me not to come back till Monday. So I said, fine. But for some folks, this is a critical situation. No doubt about that. So we are seeing an involvement, an evolution, if you will, of the war. And it's coming. We're coming to the next feast. Guys, Feast of Pentecost. Fire will fall at Pentecost, but there may be fire falling around the world as this oil crisis. Just today, the Ukrainians blew up a major oil refineries, a massive explosion in Russia as well. So it's getting very intense now. It's crazy, okay? It's crazy. So we're going to keep an eye on what's going on, guys. I'm telling you right now. But there's a break, there's a shift, there's a change. Trump has flipped the script. There's something else going on now. We're supposed to be in a ceasefire. Trump has killed the top 14 Iranian Revolutionary Guard commanders in that massive explosion in Iran. There's a lot going on. I'll tell you more. First, I want to play a song. Israel Hall wrote this song and produced the music. He wrote the music and the song. And I want you to hear it. If you're in the chat room, this is for all of you online members and those who like to get in the chat room. This song is for you.
Where you may have been, if you've heard the whole program or you're just tuning in, it's not complicated. Jesus is the way. Just type in the chat room that you want to be saved. It's the salvation station, beyond imagination. It's the gospel invitation to save you from your sin. It's the salvation station, your soul vindication, a brand new creation if you just let Jesus in. Welcome to the family. We're all related by the blood, just brothers and sisters rescued from the flood. So tell every creature just what the Lord has done, so they can fly with us when the harvest has come. It's the salvation station, beyond imagination. salvation. It's the gospel invitation to save you from your sin. It's the salvation station, your soul vindication, a brand new creation if you just let Jesus in. It's the salvation station, beyond imagination. It's the gospel invitation to save you from your sins. It's the salvation station, your soul vindication, a brand new creation if you just let Jesus in.
Israel Hall wrote the song and wrote the music. It is a powerful song. It's the Salvation Station. That is for you. All of you out there are part of this amazing online church for the last 16 years. And for the moderators and for all the folks in the chat room that are there every day and come and go. A lot of people come. Folks, it's for you. That's for you. Okay? And your faithfulness. Thank you, guys. All right. As we said, Trump has flipped the script. He continues the blockade, but now, as you can see right there, a massive explosion in Iran. And we have the reports, 14 of the top Iranian Revolutionary Guard leaders are dead. Others are killed as well, but we know the top 14. Apparently, they were gathered in strategic operation. And they should understand that basically the United States and Israel know where everybody is. Now, this is huge. This is verified. It has happened. And I can tell you right now, there is chaos in Iran tonight. The explosion, according to the reports, was in the Zanjan province, killing the top 14 members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The incident follows a major military campaign by the United States and Israel, and it kind of started last night. And I broke that news to you guys from one of my government insiders. Operation Epic Fury, which involves intense airstrikes against Iran and its nuclear facilities and military infrastructure, which started, guys, early in 2026, really. But the ceasefire went into effect on April the 8th. Today is May the 2nd. So it looks like Trump may have decided it's over. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. But we're going to keep a close eye. I can tell you right now, Israel, the nation, has a divine protection. It will be attacked. It will be attacked multiple times. And even in the book of Zechariah, in the 12th chapter, it says, Jerusalem becomes this cup of trembling, a burdensome stone for all people, and all that burden themselves with it will be broken into pieces. I want to read this 3 verses from the book of Zechariah for you because it is a prophecy alert. Trump has dropped a major bomb in Iran. You can see the explosion over my shoulder, but the bottom line is this. 14 of the top Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps have been killed. This is what the scripture says in Zechariah 12. The burden of the word of the Lord for Israel, saith the Lord, which stretches forth the heavens and layeth the foundation on the earth, and formeth the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege, both before Judah and against Jerusalem. And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut into pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. Now, that may be what we're witnessing right now. And there's 666 people in the chat room. But besides that, you flip the page and go over to Zechariah 14, and the word of the Lord says this: Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east, and the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west, and there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall be removed from the north, and half of it toward the south. And the Bible goes on to tell you, the Lord will fight the battle, and Jesus, because Christ returns. This is huge. So if you're having this, if you're having these wars now, how close are you to the rapture? If we're beginning to see the Zechariah 12 prophecy, which I believe we are in the midst of it. I believe we're also in the Jeremiah 49 prophecy. I think we've already had Psalms 83. We're past that. Okay, so you have been watching. If you've been following me on this channel, and you have got to know that over the past a period of time of a few years, I've been slowly walking you through the procession of prophecy that's being fulfilled right before your very eyes. I'll be right back after this. Rattle those dry bones, the nation of Israel. The prophecy is that Israel would become a nation in one day. And it happened. Saturday was silent, and surely it was through. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? Friday's disappointment is Sunday's empty tomb. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? This is the sound of a dry bones rattling. This is the praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Oh, it's getting serious out there right now, folks. Explosion! Costal fire, stirring something new. You're not gonna run out of miracles anytime soon. Your resurrection power, it runs in my veins too. I believe there's another miracle here in this room. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is the praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. My God is able
to save and deliver and heal and restore anything that he wants to. Just ask the man who was thrown on the bones of Elisha if there's anything that he can do. Just ask the stone that was rolled at the tomb in the garden what happens when God says to move. I feel him moving it now. I feel him doing it now. I feel him doing it now. Do it now. Do it now. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Yeah, this is the praise, make a dead man walk again.
I got it. One more announcement after the song.
Open the grave.
I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again.
Open the grave.
I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again.
Open the grave. I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling.
Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Prophesy and say to them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up from your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. Then you shall know that I am the Lord, and I will put my spirit in you, and I will place you in your own land, and you shall live. I will place you in your own land. You shall live, 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 live.
Sound of dry bones rattling. Yeah, this is the praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again.
Oh, that is right. Rattle, dry bones. You know, I'm excited about the trip we got planned for Israel this November the 1st through the 10th. Believe me, it's going to be spectacular. We're going to be coming into one of the most glorious times in prophetic history. And it will be my 12th time to take groups to Israel. And I'm going to be baptizing people in the Jordan River, Lord willing. And I'm going to get baptized as well. And this will be the 7th time for me to be baptized in the Jordan. And I'm believing that any sickness or anything will be completely healed. We've seen miracles when we baptize people in the water. My wife was healed of a frozen shoulder. She was just sitting on this big rock taking pictures of people getting baptized to give each person their own personal picture of the baptism. And we baptized 40 people the last time we went. And that was in February of 2023. As she was sitting on this rock taking pictures, another lady by the name of Renee knew Heidi was suffering from this frozen shoulder, if you know anything about that. So she reached into, she dipped into the Jordan River and sprinkled it on Heidi's shoulder. As soon as she did, Heidi felt something pop, felt something release, and she started moving her shoulder and the pain went away. She was healed just from the sprinkling of the Jordan River, because Renee did it by faith. And I want to tell you something. There's miracle. I mean, Jesus baptized people in the Jordan River. Jesus was baptized in the Jordan River. And matter of fact, John the Baptist baptized a lot of people in the Jordan River. And Naaman, the general of the Syrian army, dipped 7 times and was healed. And I'm going to believe God on that as well. Okay, guys, again, massive explosion in Iran. 14 people are dead. Hey, let me tell you about it. Those 14 are the top 14 commandos of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. Plus, there's others that were killed, certainly, but those 14 were the target. Trump has flipped the script, and the pressure is still building on Iran. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Stay with me today. And oh, by the way, I'm preaching tomorrow here under the big tent at Freedom Fellowship here in Florida. Wildwood, Florida is where the tent is. But we're moving into a brand new building. I believe it's the first Sunday in July. I think it's July 4th weekend. Can you imagine that? Freedom Fellowship finally getting to move into a brand new facility on 4th of July. I'm almost positive that is the date that weekend. I will let you know 100% for sure. But we only have 9 Sundays left under the big tent. And tomorrow is one of those. And I'll be preaching tomorrow. So don't miss it. If you can be here, please come. If you can't, tune in. The service will be live right here on this YouTube channel. Okay? All right. God bless all of you. I love you guys. See you in a little bit. There's more happening, so I'm gonna have to. It's a whole different thought process. I'll have to come back with another video. I'll do that. God bless. Are you serious?